So, Ira, I actually wanted to add something here. Being an artist, I see colors everywhere. Like, in food also, I see colors. And whenever we make some pulao or some sabzi or something, if we have red, green, and white there, suddenly it becomes very colorful. And I have also heard that colors in food are very important. And also heard that you do some healing of chakras, or you address the chakras through food. Isn't it true, Ira? How do you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because colors, and they're all there in our chakras. Like the root color, and then sacral. Then there's the heart chakra. Heart chakra is like green, and then the root chakra is red in color. So yeah, we need to energize. Let's say if the person, somewhere in the afternoon, 4 to 4:35 is the time when the person is either the housewife, she's kind of, or like I would call them domestic engineers. I never call housewife, I say domestic engineers because they're engineering the house. So they, they get up from the sleep, they're tired, or someone who's in the office and they're kind of tired, and they need to start with the evening. So that's the time if you actually give them a red, vibrant food for the root chakra, which is on the base. So that automatically will enhance all the other chakras also. So something red, pomegranate, anar, or beetroot, or something like that. Even so, you need to combine certain foods also together, or maybe a red apple or a green apple. What would be better for a gestational diabetic patient? So that kind of a food, if red color is given, maybe just a red tomato is given, so that will actually enhance the root chakra. And of course, then we have this amazing moringa powder from SNE, and that is the green, that is for the heart chakra. So like in the morning time, definitely give, like it's my favorite smoothie that I give it, like a green apple and green moringa powder, green mint leaves, drops of lemon out there, and a little bit of water, fresh mineral water, and have that and blend it into a smoothie. I think that'll just invigorate all your, it'll remove all the toxins, yes, but it'll invigorate a lot of love and compassion with the help of your heart chakra. So yes, the art, of course, and the art through the body, art through the through your food, and actually can, the lovely colors can brighten up the canvas of your life.
Absolutely. So beautifully explained, Ira. Wonderful. And we can definitely procure all these lovely colors of food from SNE. Isn't it, SNE?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So more color on your plate, better is your health.
So you were mentioning something, SNE, about some, hormonal disruptors and all those studies that you had come across. Yes.
Yeah. So it has been found, like a study was done in Europe on around 35,000 pregnant mothers, and they found that those who were having organic food, not only during pregnancy but before pregnancy, they had better BMI, they had lesser chances of gestational diabetes and preeclampsia. And a study was done in India after delivery, and breast milk of mothers was checked, and it was found that the pesticides were present even in the breast milk. So my point is that one should eat organic not only during the pregnancy but before the pregnancy, to prepare yourself for the pregnancy, and after the delivery. Sorry, because the baby has very low immunity, and if mother is eating pesticide loaded food, then definitely that food will be, those pesticides will be passed on to the baby, and baby will be affected, and there are chances that some permanent damage may happen. So it is very important.
So true. The hormones can actually, I think Dr. Nupur would also agree with me that hormones can actually break your life. You need to, the hormone disruptors need to be really, really away. And all that, like we discussed, the hormonal disruptors that are there, and the dioxins that comes from the industrial pollution also. I mean, just having the right kind of food, how to manage it clinically and holistically, I think it can really help not only a pregnant woman but every person, actually every human being needs to have a right kind of food, right kind of diet, and it needs to be combined clinically. it is very, very important. You need to have a clinical guidance which helps you to inculcate and leave you a healthier and a happier life.
Very rightly pointed out, when we talk about food, it is the food which is also responsible for a lot of our illnesses that happen. So we are what we eat actually. And when we are talking about pregnant women, or no matter any person who is either planning pregnancy or any human being, it is very important that plate should be full of colors, and we call it as a rainbow diet, where all colors of rainbow is part of your routine diet. That means you have enough macro and micronutrients in your diet. Many a times, women from good families, healthy families, or wealthy families are also deficient. Why? Because they are deficient in micronutrients. At one point of time, they are obese, they are overweight, but because the nutrition is poor, they are deficient in micronutrients, which leads them to so many other problems in daily lives. And this micronutrient malnutrition is also called hidden hunger. It is another name is hidden hunger. Despite being looking healthy, you are anemic. Despite being overweight, you are tired, you feel low energy during the whole day. So this epidemic or pandemic of gestational diabetes also hits women with wealthy families. There is enough evidence to show, especially in Indian women, that maternal health, how it affects people from wealthy families is different as compared to women from the rural families. So yes, we need to also look into this, because if we look at maternal health in villages, there is hardly any screening for gestational diabetes, or they go through this. It is very likely because their diet is different, the way they eat is different, the way they cook is different. They don't consume lot of complex carbohydrates. They don't have high glycemic index foods. Their exercise, their physical activity is different. So there is very less likely chance that they will develop diabetes. Although it does not matter, they will still some population will have, which needs to be screened. Does not mean that we don't need to screen. But very important is the preconception period, which lot of women ignore, because the Indian myth is still goes on that you should visit the doctor after you complete 3 months of pregnancy, and that is the time when should be your first visit. But we say that first visit is when you get married, because that is the time when you will decide that when you want to have your first child, or you don't have an unwanted pregnancy that you come for termination, and how healthy you are to give birth to a healthy newborn. So your health starts preconceptionally rather than during pregnancy. So healthy lifestyle, good eating habits, not to smoke or drink, have a normal BMI, having a good physical activity schedule. So many factors they take a long way to lead to a healthy pregnancy.
Absolutely. And also the colors on your plate. So whether the colors are on your plate or in your life, it is important to have colors, isn't it? Anita, I specifically know what to do when I feel tired in the evening. I'll just pick up something red and eat. Would that help me?
Absolutely. It'll help a long, long way. Totally.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, it's extremely important for a right kind of diet to be followed. And if you have diabetes, then yes, all the diabetes, even before conception itself, you need to manage your sugar levels, you need to manage your glucose levels, and help incorporate and create a buffer. And that is what I intend to do as my mission to nutritionally cause and reverse diabetes in India and globally. So thank you so much, Geetika and Dr. Nupur and Sneh Yadav, for coming to all about happiness and health chat show with Ira Ratan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.